eBay returns.
Ew.
Nobody likes them, but it's part of business.
Yep.
Today we're going to talk about returns.
Returns.
Look, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 returns.
From the last probably week?
7,000 orders. No, I'm just
True.
kidding. So
She believed you for a second.
we're going to open up these returns and show you guys like what is being returned. We'll talk about why the items were returned, maybe how to avoid getting lots of returns, and how we deal with it. You know, it is part of business. It's part of something that you have to deal with. I do think that accepting returns is important on eBay. When you don't accept returns, you're eliminating a lot of your potential business, right?
Right.
And also, like, if you think of it as a consumer, from a consumer's point of view, right? If I'm selling this hat, right?
Right.
And somebody else is selling the same hat, and I have returns on, and they don't have returns on, which person would you rather trust? If we have the same amount of feedback, typically you're going to go, and if it's the same price too, obviously.
Right,
If it's
same
cheaper,
price.
maybe you'll take a chance, but you know, most of the time you're going to go with the person that has returns on because it's a more trustworthy seller. It doesn't matter if you are a more trustworthy seller, that's just how it's perceived in the marketplace.
Also, I will spend at least a certain % more for an item, knowing I can return it if I'm not sure about it, than I'm willing to risk to buy an item with no returns, even though it's cheaper.
Right.
Because I don't want to be out $40, you know?
So you don't have to do returns. We're just kind of telling you from years and years of experience what works for us. Doesn't mean that it's the right way. It's just the way that works for us.
Based off of our numbers and statistics that we've compiled over the
Correct.
years.
So, and our return rates on eBay with the type of items that we sell is under 4%. So for every 100 items that we sell, only 4 come back. And that's with the highest possible returns that you can basically have on. So we do free returns, meaning if someone gets this item or this item, right, and they don't like it or if it doesn't fit them, they can return it for any reason and we pay for return shipping.
Right. But instead of selling only 50 items, we're selling 100 items.
Right.
Because our returns are turned on.
And we've tracked that, and that's how it is for us. So let's take this item, for example.
Aha.
Schling. So we've got a pair of, these were sold as new without tags, Chubby's bathing suits. They were returned for size. So it cost us probably $4.50 to ship it out first class, and then we paid another $4.50 to ship it back. So yeah, I mean, it costs us like, it's a $10 straight cost. Can we sell them again? Obviously, yes, we can, but that doesn't eliminate the fees that we already paid for shipping, right? So it's just part of like, you have to work it into what you're doing in business.
And even though, let's say we've lost $10 on this item now, so now this item costs us an additional $10 from the cost of goods, so the COG, we definitely are selling such a significant amount more
Right.
of this item in particular. Like I think we had quantity 80 of that. We're gonna sell 80 of them faster and probably over other people who don't have the returns turned on.
Right.
So even though, yes, we are getting returns, and yes, we probably won't make money on this pair, right? But overall, we're selling so many more items because the returns are turned on that it counteracts the fact that we've lost money now on this item.
Right.
If you want
For
to look
sure.
at it like that.
So the other important thing though is even though we have free returns on and we do take returns back, that doesn't mean that a customer can buy something that was brand new, use it, wear it, send it back with stains. That's not the way that it works, and eBay will still back the seller if something like that happens. You can deduct up to 50% of the cost of the item or of the sale price of the item that you sent out. So again, if they paid $20 for these and they sent them back trashed, we would deduct $10 because we got them back not in the same condition. You could also open up a case as well and send it to eBay and fight it and do all that, but most of the time it's not worth your time and effort as long as the item isn't super expensive. So
Right.
because it's only a $20 item, it's not worth fighting for that extra, you know, $10. I would rather, and that's the way that our business works, we would rather just get the item back, get it relisted, and move it on to somebody else. Yeah. But returns do suck, I'm not gonna lie. I mean,
And we don't want to discourage you from opening up a case, if rightfully so you should open up
Yeah.
a case. We're just saying with the amount of time that we have, we don't find the value to open up the case for the lower, you know, priced items. But if it was a $1,000 item, of course we would open up the case.
yeah. We just want you guys to understand that, like, as you scale your business, it's good to have a return policy. Even if you're not doing free returns, have some sort of a buyer paid 14-day at least return policy. Just don't do no returns. And this,
Switched on. Shoes.
some Chacos.
Chacos.
So again, and when we get the shoes back, we just want to make sure, obviously you want to look at the reason why the item was returned. So if it was returned for item not as described, you want to look at the item and see, like, is it, you know, how it was before we sent it out? Was it sent back in the same condition as received?
Did you miss something in the photos?
Right. Was it damaged in transit? Do you have to file like a claim with the post office to get your money back? Again, this was purely a size issue. So it wasn't the same size. We literally just relisted on eBay. They go back into inventory and it's a done deal.
Yeah, and usually people put this nice piece of paper in there for you.
That's true.
Their name might be on it, so I don't want to flip it over.
Yeah.
I'll just flip it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and you can see it says return reason doesn't fit, right? So again, if we didn't have returns on, they wouldn't be able to return it. But maybe we wouldn't have sold them in the first place.
But they could still say item not as described and then return it and
That's
burn
true,
us,
too.
and then that doesn't look good for us.
Yeah. Oh, that's
we
the-
want to eliminate that from happening.
Yeah, that's another really good point, is even if you have no return switched on, a buyer can still open a return case if the item is not as described.
Right.
So if I sell this hat and I say it's in perfect condition, and then the buyer gets it and the back is completely snapped off, even if I have no returns on, they can still open up a case on eBay, and most of the time eBay is going to side with the buyer. So that's why it doesn't make sense to have no returns on.
Yeah, and that's why we don't want people returning stuff with item not as described, because that's not good for your account. You want people to return stuff for the true reason why they're returning it, which is why we offer the doesn't fit, because people will always scam the system. That just happens.
But it's also really important to make sure that you're listing your items accurately, take really good pictures, describe it well. If there are any flaws, take pictures of the flaws and point them out. You know, we use a pen to point it out and see, you know, show people that there are flaws.
Yeah.
Use your teeth to open packages.
Not okay with
Big
that.
tip.
I think my
mom's
mom's
leaving.
just leaving.
Yeah.
Say bye to her. Say bye to my mom.
Bye, Mom.
Bye.
Keep going. We got all these hats in today, and there's a lot of them. They're really cool, though. Just a bunch of vintage hats. 100% wool.
And do you need some trucks? There's just a little mark on them.
I want to show you my favorite hat. Oh, that one's really cool.
The pride, the glory. These are
This
special.
one's super cool. Look at the snap on it.
What do we do now?
Oh, I was just getting these hats off.
For the return video?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna watch.
Is it this one?
Yoink.
Alright, I guess I won't show any more hats.
What's that yellow one? Looking like mustard.
There's a cool snap-on hat in here.
Hawiki way.
Oh, these hats.
Oh yeah, he showed the snap on one.
Anyway, hats for another vid.
We both think the snap-on hat's cool. Also, let's talk about how quickly you need to check your returns.
Oh, that's a good point.
That's really important.
Yeah, so we have our returns shipped to a post mailbox because we don't want to put our home address or our business address on the shipping labels. That's our personal preference. It's mainly because we have a YouTube channel and we don't want people knocking on our door, like buying something from us, finding our home address and knocking on our door. So
Yeah.
you
But
can do
we
that if you
used to use our home address the first 1.5 years
Yeah.
that we were shipping.
Yeah.
We used our home address.
Yeah. And we get the thank you notes back because we put thank you notes in all of our orders. So we get these back, we just reuse them, recycle.
Produce, reuse, recycle.
We'll recycle everything, so even the packing material and stuff. Another pair of shoes.
Chacos again?
No, these are the Mephisto ones. This one was a bit of a heavier hit because I think these sold for like $75.
Oh yeah, those were expensive.
Yeah. So again, returns aren't fun. Like we're gonna be refunding already like $100. So we don't do free returns on like larger appliances and stuff. We still do them on shoes because we just average it out. We sell so many shoes, we just average it out into what we're doing. Yeah, it doesn't fit.
Doesn't fit, yeah.
But on something that's larger, that's going to cost you, you know, $40, $50 to ship. I think it's fine if you do buyer paid returns. So
Or even $20 to ship, especially in the beginning.
yeah. So again, get the shoes back. Make sure that they are still in the same condition. These ones are fine. Packing paper back into inventory, and these will literally just get relisted on our eBay store and go back onto the rack. So it's not hard to deal with them. All right, next return. This is like a return unboxing video.
It basically is.
Yeah.
But this is only 4%.
Yeah, this is like 1.5, 2 weeks of returns. So
Yeah.
this one doesn't even look like they opened it.
Yeah.
Did you pack that, Callie?
No? What box is that? Medium flat rate?
Doesn't fit.
Some Keens, again, doesn't
Mary
fit.
Jane's.
Another just little tip for you guys is there's a reason why, and this isn't to look down on either gender, but the reason why we sell a lot more men's items, shoes, clothing, all that stuff, is because we get fewer returns on men's items. Just is the way that it is. If a guy buys a pair of shoes, sometimes even if it doesn't fit or it's not exactly what he wanted, they don't go through the hassle of returning it. Women will buy a pair of shoes, try them on, and sometimes we just noticed
We're
that
smarter and
returns.
shabbier
Yeah.
shoppers. Like, you don't bother returning stuff, and I absolutely will return something, even if it was a $15 item to like Target or Walmart. You will bother.
Well, I feel like also, like, if I'm buying a pair of shoes online, especially used shoes, I know what I'm buying. Like, I've had the shoes in the past. I know exactly what I'm getting. I'm not shopping. Like, I'm buying it because I know exactly what it is.
Right.
So
You're buying for necessity, and we're buying for pleasure.
Yeah.
More often.
Right,
I think
exactly.
so.
Exactly.
I mean, personally, in our relationship.
Yeah. So anyway, another pair of shoes.
Loud noises.
I think these are all bathing suits.
Oh, that is one thing that men return a lot of, are Chubby's bathing suits. You might need to know your sizes for your bathing suits.
Well, and they're elastic too.
They're
And
elastic.
they're elastic.
You know what though? The reason why I think we got a few Chubby's bathing suits returned.
People gain weight during
Put on that
quarantine.
quarantine weight.
True.
Quarantine weight.
All right, some more.
bathing
Doesn't
suits.
fit.
Chubby's
What?
bathing
Why didn't they just tape the blue thing back?
I don't know. But these weren't even taken out of the bag.
Weird.
So
Oh, they might have been.
I don't think so.
You can easily put this Scotch tape back on.
You can easily, yeah, it's another doesn't fit. So it could have been a change of mind, or it could have been doesn't fit. But
When you sell 100 bathing suits, you're bound to get four back.
yeah, exactly. So
Well, especially after quarantine.
yeah, and again, it's if you look at your business as a whole, right? As you start to grow on eBay, and you know, I know that we're talking about eBay. I know other platforms like don't even take returns back, which is fine. Like if you want to sell shoes on Poshmark because you're going to get very few returns, if any, that's fine. But
And that's awesome.
most of our business, most of our resale business is on eBay. So that's what we're talking about. And for us, we get more sales when we do certain things on eBay. And one of those things is to offer free returns.
And we do know from Poshmark sellers that it's amazing for selling. It's a great platform for selling shoes. So if you do a lot of shoes and you don't currently sell on Poshmark, please consider it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
We've only heard great things for shoes.
But keep in mind, like, it's the little tweaks that, as you start to scale your business, it's those little tweaks that really allow you to scale the right way, and getting a few returns a week doesn't affect your business at all. It's just part of what you do. You don't get as mad when you get a return because you've sold, 30 things that day. If you get one return, it's not that big of a deal. You just put it into your cost of doing business. It really is just cost of doing business. So,
And it increases sales, so you really make that money back.
yeah. Anyway, guys, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section of this video. I hope this kind of helped a few people understand returns a little bit more.
And when you get your returns, make sure you check them within that 3-day window, right? It's a 72-hour window.
I think so.
I think let's just say it's a 48-hour window. I don't remember off the top of my head now because they changed it.
Yeah.
But check your returns immediately and make sure it was returned in the same condition you sent it out in.
Yeah.
Or else, if that return is automatically refunded to the person, fighting it is extremely difficult, if not impossible. So take that into account
Yeah.
as well
And-
when you do receive your return.
And even if it is in the same condition, make sure you go into eBay and you're closing out the return. Because this was a fine return, if I don't go in there and I don't close it out and I don't refund them, if the buyer opens a case on eBay and it'll automatically decide in their favor because the tracking shows it's delivered, that's a ding against your account, and you don't want that on
Right,
eBay.
and that's important to know. You could get that ding
Yeah.
if you don't do that.
And you want to relist them too, right?
Yeah, you can relist them as well. Yeah, I'll try to do some screenshots and some screen sharing of our actual eBay account showing how we close out these returns as well, so people can see it.
Probably work out or play Animal Crossing while you do that.
But thank you guys so much for watching. We appreciate it. Leave a thumbs up on this video. Subscribe for more content like this, and we will see you guys on the next one. I'm Ryan Roots.
I'm Ralli Roots.
And together we
are Ralli Roots.
Peace. Next time, guys. Bye.